I'd like me a splash of whiskey to wash the trail dust off in my gullet and keep my singing voice in fettle.
What you're about to see is a Channel 4 News exclusive.
You sit on a throne of lies.
We have to get on, we have so much time and so little to do. Strike that. Reverse it.
Welcome back, family and friends, to another episode of Independent Joe. And tonight we have another special guest. It's not part of the 12 days before Christmas, because now this is like after Christmas. We're heading into the new year and we're still having pours with great people, great friends coming on, great channels coming on and having a pour with me. Again, they do not know what is in their glass, and I'm the only one who knows. It's off to the left here. There was no cheating or anything. No man behind the curtain letting them know what they are drinking. So everybody so far has been pretty in tune with what they were drinking and the flavor profiles and giving their honest opinions. And if you've seen a couple of the last ones, those opinions can be pretty blunt. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be blunt on this one. And what better? I mean, sometimes he bites his tongue a little bit. Doesn't really go after anything. He's just pretty fair, honest. And some people might just call him, yeah, he's blunt. So let's go ahead and welcome Deathless Dogs, Deathless Dan to the potty.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Very good. Yourself?
Ah, pretty good, man. I appreciate you doing this with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had the battle a long time ago. I think it's been like years. I think almost. Like
it's been years. at least a year, because it's more than a year, because I was still in the old studio at that point. I wasn't in my new house. So yeah. Yeah,
and this is when you had your partner, and then he moved to Texas.
Yeah, he moved. He lives in up in St. Paul now. Yeah, he went down to Texas for school, and then now
how's he doing?
He's doing well. He's enjoying life up there. Eddie is alive and well, and he goes to like every concert because he lives downtown St. Paul, and he's a veteran. So I don't know if you do this, the vet ticks thing.
Yeah.
He just trolls that all day and gets like tickets to everything up there.
So. Comedy shows, concerts, all that stuff at a very low price. Mm-hmm. They say free, but you still got to pay a little bit of money for the, I guess the shipping fees. I don't know what they call it.
Yeah, like the service fees and venue fees and all that. Yeah,
but other than that, you're still not paying full price. So I mean, it's a pretty good deal. And so we had talked about this on a stream. I'll say drunken stupor. I've heard some words. I heard, I would like to try that, and maybe it was just one of those things that I heard. But I was like, you know what, I got to get Dan on here so we can taste this together. If you hadn't tasted it, you could have said, "Oh man, I hate that stuff," and I probably would have only heard, "Man, I wish somebody would send me that." So that's what happened, and I was like, I hadn't reviewed it yet. I haven't tasted it, and both of us right now have been letting it air out. Got a couple of questions for you before we start.
Sure.
Question number one: most surprising whiskey. It could be a sample. It could be a pour you had at a pub. It could be a bottle you own. What is the most surprising whiskey of the year for you?
I've got two answers for that, because I've got one that was surprisingly good and one that was surprisingly bad. So surprisingly good is that Evan Williams 1783 American Hero Edition. I usually have it sitting right next to me. But
nice. I think we got 3 or 4 of those suggestions right there as far as surprising whiskey.
Yeah, this was such a wonderful surprise.
Nice.
For such a low cost bottle. This is easily in my top whiskeys of the year.
Really? Oh man.
Yeah.
I wish we had it here, because I've been looking. I think Ben said he had an extra one for me, so I'll see if that gets here. Hopefully it does.
Yeah, I heard about it from Ben and Mark from Northwest Bourbon, and then I picked it up.
And they both recommended it like you
highly. Yeah. But then the other side of the coin, the worst of the year, some people may have seen the Secret Krampus stream I did.
And it's surprisingly bad, right?
Surprisingly bad.
Okay. So an Irish whiskey.
An Irish whiskey that I got from Stacey H, who knows her Irish whiskey. This was the malt was dried in a used clothes dryer, and they apparently used spent fryer oil to fire it. I mean, it just I didn't know things could get this.
Is it peated, or does it have no?
It's not peated. It almost tastes garbaged though. Like they fire it. They smoke the malt with trash.
And you know what? I watched a lot of that stream, and I heard her say it hurts her to actually say that about a Killer Wing product. So
yeah, because she's such a fan. But,
yeah, definitely. So,
woof, that
is surprising. That is surprising. that was a fun stream. I actually lined up all the ones before, and you had a crowded room, so I was like, oh, I'll catch the next one. But I had some too, as far as the surprisingly bad, and the one I would say for me is the Woodford Double Oak that I got. It wasn't a pick because I heard those are really good, but it was just the shelfer, and I was like, wow, this is pretty bad.
Was that the first time you've ever bought that bottle?
No,
it's a bad bottle of it that you got.
I think it's a bad bottle that I got. And that one honestly wasn't from this year, so I guess that doesn't count. Okay, I'll put in the Surly Redemption as part of that too.
Surly, like the brewery?
Surly, yeah, Surlee Redemption.
I've got one of theirs, but it's the I forget which one. It's like the IPA one, and that's weird. It's a weird bottle. Yeah,
I bought it because it was aesthetically pleasing. It just, the bottle's all black, nice cursive writing on it, and it was just like, oh man, this. And Redemption, I like a lot of Redemption products, so I was surprised that one was a little off, and I believe that's from this year.
Yeah, it might be because the other one they had was a couple years ago, so it's probably a newer one. I haven't seen that one yet, but yeah, it's always fun to go through some stuff that's surprisingly bad because we all strike out every now and then.
Oh yeah, definitely.
on the
hunting. Question number 2: what whiskey? Gift giving season is here. By the time people see this, it'll be a day past. But what would be your recommendation for anybody that is doing some type of gift giving? It doesn't have to be Christmas. It could be a New Year's gift. It could be a birthday or something like that. So a nice whiskey, aesthetically pleasing, maybe great flavor, kind of all rolled into one package. What would you recommend?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the person that you're giving to, but I think a safe bet in general is something from the 1792 range. Okay. I think the bottle looks great. So if they're not like a huge whiskey drinker, hit them with the small batch. That's going to be like sweet, nice. If they are a drinker, if you can find a bottled and bond, that's my favorite of the line.
Oh, really? Better than
and those run like $35. They're not super expensive. It's a good one to give as a gift. If you really, really like the person, you can go try to find a 12-year or a full proof, but I don't think anybody's going to be too upset about getting a 1792. Oh
yeah. I can appreciate. I like what they do. Barton's doing with that. And there's so many. What's funny is there's so many 1792 Barton knockoffs. That if you go into Total Wine, they're always trying to push those on you. And yes, I've been suckered a couple of times in the game.
you got Chestnut Farm.
I got bamboozled. I got chestnutted. But yeah, I got their single barrel and some other ones, but there's a lot of people that use Barton 1792 in their products. It's pretty crazy, and I always, especially like the Costco one. I don't know if you ever saw those ones, single barrels and all that.
Yep.
I did a side by side on the small batch because that's the only one I could find, and the small batch 1792. I would still pay the extra $5-10 in price difference for that one because it was just so much more for me, a little bit more creamier, a little bit more mouth coating, a little bit sweeter.
Better than the Costco ones.
Yeah, better than the Costco. So
yeah, I'd agree. I did my brother had all 3 of those bottles, and he lent them to me to do a review on all 3, and I found them to be okay for what the price is and stuff, but there is a definite quality difference. There seems to be, they're a little more youthful, the Costco ones.
It seems
a little bit sharper, but they're still not bad.
They're definitely not bad, and you get a liter bottle of them. So.
Yeah. So you take that into consideration too, but I would just spring for the 1792 on pretty much every occasion.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into this whiskey. Thank you, everybody in the Squirrel Circle, all the Patreons, everybody who supports the channel. Make sure, just like all the channels that you've been subscribing to up to this point, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button on Deathless Dogs. Make sure you go into some of their videos, check them out. Tell them what you think of those videos. I'm pretty sure you'd like some honest feedback. That's what we always want. We want that honest feedback, or maybe you've had some of these whiskeys that we're gonna drink tonight. Some of the whiskeys that he's had in his content. Check it out. So
come yell at me about Jefferson's Ocean. That's what happens to me every week.
It's the motion in the ocean.
Yeah.
But we're going to go ahead and go in on the nose on this, and then we're going to go in on the taste. Appreciate you all. Let's check it out. Let's see here. My Deathless Dog.
My Joe Glenn is upstairs, I think.
No worries.
Indpndnt Joe, I call it. It's upstairs.
Indpndnt. Yeah, it's actually coating the glass fairly well. Yeah.
There's a little bit. It leaves a bit of a ring with some medium paced legs, I'd say,
Yeah. What are you getting on the nose?
Ooh, it's kind of got a off the bat, it's coming through really sweet. Almost a confectioner sugar kind of thing to me.
Yeah, got a little bit of vanilla, some confectioner sugar. Let me see. I'm trying to find a fruit in that.
I feel like there's one there. It just needs to be.
And I've been joking about this, but I don't know if it's stuck in my head, and maybe it's all the different whiskeys. And every time from the first time I got it, I can't shake it. I get like apricot type flavor note on there. It's weird.
Yeah,
a little sweet, like a sweeter.
Yeah, I could get with you with like on a stone fruit kind of thing, like an apricot or a peachy kind of thing. Yeah, but definitely really sweet on the nose. Not a lot of proof burn kicking through.
Yeah,
it's very approachable on the nose for sure.
Definitely approachable. I haven't had anything that heightened my senses and made me like, oh, gotta get a little bit of there.
Yeah. didn't light your nose hairs on fire. It just
really sweet. I'm getting a little bit of oak on that. Not too like, not a charred oak, but I'm getting some of that oak, those oak notes in there.
Like a sweet oak, not like a char, a lighter char on the oak. Not.
If I was going to say there was a nut in this, I would say I'm almost like a walnut.
If you had to pick a nut.
if they said you got to do it,
hey,
you got to do it. All right, fine.
Feet on the fire. You got to pick a nut. We can go with walnut.
Damn it! Why did I leave the pralines out? All right, everybody. We're gonna get into the taste because we smelt this thing enough. Cheers, everybody. Right. Love you guys. Thank you for supporting our channels. Dink. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Ooh, it's not too bad. There was like on the swallow, there was like a little pinch, and then it was just like, ooh, it's just nice, little bit of warmth. I can tell this is I already know what it is, so I can't give you too much. And it's not fair. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and tell. What are you getting on this?
The first sip was a lot of that sweetness from the nose coming through up front, and then there is like you said, almost like a little pinch. Like it almost like tries to go harsh, but then it mellows out on that first sip. And this is actually the first thing I've drank today too, so I got to go in for another sip to give it its proper justice.
It does dry down really quick, it seems.
And then on the exhale, there's a good spice. Definitely some oak.
Yeah, a lot of oak.
A lot of oak there.
I would call this more of a pepper spice than any kind of cinnamon spice or anything like that.
Yes. Yeah, I'm more of that makes sense. More of a pepper. To me, black pepper almost has like a sourness to it, like a tanginess to a black pepper, like fresh cracked black pepper. This has a little bit of that, and that can be kind of like the oak too. Sometimes there's a little bit of a sour tinge to that oak. It does get dry though. For sure.
Yeah, it definitely does. Now, when knowing or feeling that, I'm still got flavor in my mouth though. It's not like like a pucker dryness. It's just you could just tell that the dryness is there, but there's still like a flavor that's left behind. I'm trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah, and I think I don't know how you feel. I mean, I think oak kind of gets a bad rap, which is ironic considering it's bourbon. Yeah, I don't see dry as like a bad thing. Like, if it's a good tasting whiskey and it dries out a little, it just makes you want to keep drinking more of it, you know. And this has that. This where it's not like that, like super dried out, like it's like just
like you get a popsicle stick, like you're chewing on a popsicle.
Yeah. It's not that. But it definitely, as it sits, the sides of my tongue get pretty dry.
Yeah. Interesting. And it's weird because it's, for me anyways, it's only the tongue that's dry. Everything else does. It feels normal. You know, and
there's there's like the tingle is there, suggesting it's got a little more proof than I was assuming on the nose. But yeah, this is let's pour a little more in.
Give this a proof point. What would you say this is at proof at?
The tingle always leads me to believe it's over 100. That's kind of always been my like barometer. Well, let me take another little sip.
And also, it being your first pour of the night, and this is actually my second pour of the night, and this one still kind of, when I put it on the palate and everything, it still has that tingle, still has that, and I think the one I had before was just a little bit higher in proof than this one. So
yeah, I'd guess something in the low hundreds, like a 110 or lower, you know, maybe like a 105, 107, you know, somewhere in that spot. Because it's not burning, but it's leaving the tingles behind.
Yeah. Let me see. Does it taste finished or not finished to you?
I would say not finished, if I had to guess.
Okay. Doesn't give you too much of like there's like any awkward flavors in there or anything.
No,
like that. It almost tastes like it's not finished.
Yeah, I would say, you know, just off the taste, I would guess not finished, or if it was finished, it would be like a toasted or something like that. Like it's not not like a wine finish where there's like this fruitiness coming through. You know, if it is something like that, it's a pretty light finish.
Yeah.
It's not very pronounced. This is, you know, it's whiskey flavored whiskey.
Yeah. And that's what I'm getting to. Like, if I didn't know what this was, I would probably be going in that direction too. And you know what? Let's stop guessing about it. I'm going to go ahead and let you know what we've been pouring on. Two friends together, having a pour.
Yeah.
And what we were drinking. And if I heard correctly, you were wondering how this tasted. Probably not. It was probably my dementia. But this one right here is at the proof point is at blood temperature.
Oh wow!
So it's 98.6, and you're drinking Blood Oath.
Oh,
the Blood Oath Pack 9 from this year.
Okay.
Barrel Michael Jordan. Oh no, 2023. Never mind. That's it doesn't say the barrel. Never mind. Why did I say that was barrel? But yeah, I think
What
it was
is
bottled in February.
what is the finish on this then?
It is a sherry cask, and
Sherry.
now I'm realizing why I'm getting those dry. It's drying out a little bit because of the
Okay.
sherry casks.
Yeah.
Whenever I have Oloroso sherry casks like finishings, it kind of dries out in time, but it still leaves flavor.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've never had a blood oath before, so yeah, this is
cool.
It's a new experience.
Yeah, definitely. A friend of mine, Adam over there in Oklahoma, has Max Barbecue. I always promote his stuff, but Max Barbecue out there. He's the one who introduced me and into these right here because he tries to collect them all. The only one he doesn't have is Pack 1.
Okay.
And I think he ordered that this year, and I'm not sure. I got to ask him, but really nice flavor. I think the drying gets in the way just a little bit. I've had some of these that don't do that, and some of them that do. And like you had alluded to it, I think it does, as proof wise, it does drink above it a little bit.
Does.
And I was surprised because the one I had before was 105 ish, and then this one coming in and kind of like even overstepping that a little bit. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, I could definitely see what you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe that is the sherry finishing with the drying is kind of leaving more of a proofy tingle behind, because it's kind of drying out your tongue. That's interesting. Because I said like low hundreds, so it's not like burning by any means, but it does drink proofier than like something sub 100 for sure.
Yeah, and I was with you on the like I knew it was a sherry finish, but I do not detect that, and unless I'm going to attribute the drying to that. Right. Other than that, it has all just your basic whiskey notes, and it's almost like you were saying, like a bourbon's bourbon.
It's similar to I don't know if you've had Penelope Rosé cask. Like that's if you didn't tell me that was finished, I would never know. When I drink it, like it's very light finish. It's not.
I have not had the rosé.
Yeah, it's good, but it's just not much different than like a regular Penelope. It just drinks like a bourbon. This kind of does that too.
Yeah, and I went back to it like a few more times while we've been talking. I don't think this is something like I would keep drinking. Like I would have a pour of it, but I think I'd have to stop there. Because that drying and that, I mean, it's okay, but I would like something that has a little bit more, I guess, a little bit more mouth coating than what we're getting here.
Yeah, I think, like you said, have one pour of this, maybe even at the beginning of your night since it's lower proof, and then and then move on to something a little more complex. I mean, you'd kind of think with something like the Blood Oath name. I mean, I've never had one, but I know they aren't cheap bottles, and this is by no means bad, but this really lacks a complexity, Yeah,
this one definitely went over my budget because I normally only spend $40 on bottles. This one definitely cost me $42.50, so I went a little over my budget on that with coupons and everything. Brought it down to $42.50.
And then you sent me these with it, and I mean that adds to the cost too.
Yeah, that definitely adds to it. Yeah, well, you got a package from me if you get the beans in there from a beaner,
all the way from Boston with the beans. All the way from Boston.
All right, everybody, we appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for supporting our channels. Thank you for being here, and we're gonna see you on the next one. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a score of. Since I can only have one, I would say good, really good, but I'm going to give it a yummy. I think I'm going to stick there. There's two other levels above it where it's good, really good, and the best. But
okay,
I don't think it's the best.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you there. It's definitely not bad, but it's not anything that I'm like rushing out to go grab or something, like it's
yeah.
It's a nice pour.
Definitely. And again, appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, again in the squared circle. Love you guys. Love you. Subscribe, hit the like button. Let us know if you've had this. Let us know how wrong we are and what we're tasting. We, any information is good information as long as it ain't like, some weirdo saying that some bad stuff or something. I don't know. But anyways, we're out of here. Where's the exit button? Let me see.
Bye, Felicia.
Oh, damn. I keep doing that. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.